Oh, hello. Hello. I'm just over here laughing at myself. Don't mind me. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Hello, Laura. Thank you for being here. Hi, Monique. Hello, Authentically Barbie. Hello, Sharon. Hello, James. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well. All right. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. Oh, thank you, Authentically Barbie. A sister friend made them for me. Cherokee. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of stuff going on in the world. We got some thugs with criminal histories pretending that they're some kind of law enforcement taking fathers of children who are eating ice cream to jail for no reason. Isn't it beautiful? And we've got these thugs apparently in leadership roles who are, their new slogan is one of ours, all of yours. I don't know what's going on, except that God said that the land is going back to the indigenous people. And it seems to me that indigenous people are being targeted right now, and not drug dealers like they saying. They're calling nurses who are just standing there trying to shield a woman a terrorist. Their lies are so far gone right now. It's really crazy and very obvious what's happening. Yeah. I'd like to get a read on the planetary circumstance. You know, God is preparing a place for everybody, and whether we need to transition out of this flesh suit in order to get there or not, I don't know. But stuff is happening for certain. So let's tap in. Let's tap in, everybody. Let's tap in. Planetary circumstance, please. Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit. We've got some folks there. There's a whole big restructuring going on. Now, I woke up, I think it was November 11th, 2025, to hear, it could have been the 1st, 11/1. It could have been 11/1 or 11/11. I'm not certain. 2025. But when I woke up, I heard, "You're in Egypt now," meaning the United States, because that's where I'm living at. So apparently, there's like a transfer. The other day, I was listening to this curator in his little buyers and sellers or whatever the hell of human energy. And he was saying that Annette was going to be there also. So there's apparently been a transfer, and it could very well be that America is actually now Egypt, and that these folks that are tearing down programs and they're trying to kick out the indigenous people because God said that the land belongs to the people. So they're being real mad, and they're trying to give a big, FU to God and say, you know what, we're one of yours, all of ours, I guess is their slogan. So anyhow, so everything's coming undone because they need to leave, and they're trying to gather all of the money and everything that they can before they go, and they're vengeful, and they like chaos energy, and they need to harvest as much as they can before they are forced to leave, because they don't want to, and they're not going to do it willingly. So we got the Empress on the bottom of the deck. Empress is cutting people off, man. She's getting a divorce from this nasty scenario of people sticking her with knives, sacrificing her, abusing her, draining her spiritual bank accounts, treating her like a prostitute. F off. She's going somewhere else. She's leaving you all behind, and they're chasing after her. They're chasing after her energy and her spiritual gifts, which they have lost. Because, when they were tapped and tagged and courted with all of this beautiful divine feminine energy, they were able to really fuel their magic and make it appear as though they were something special, right? But you're getting a new beginning because of all of this trickery and fraud that was being committed against you. They were getting paid, these powers of three, to move against you, to try to keep you from your inheritance. But you maintained control of yourself, and you're coming into that reward, and that's the end of this cycle, and you're getting a rebirth here, and justice is being delivered. Okay, new beginnings, new opportunities for the divine feminine. And these nasty proposals or whatever, they're having a nightmare because it was a fake cup of love. It was a fake cup of love. They got to stay away from your Nine of Cups, your beautiful life of luxury. It could be that you're about ready to, you're avoiding them. You're avoiding them like the plague. It's like, are you kidding me? Get away from my freaking abundance, man. Because they got to go away. They got to go away. Go away. Research, the wheel turns, and there's something. They're afraid because what they did in the history is bringing them death, a completion of your heavy burden and death to them. Whoa. Okay, well, that went somewhere, didn't it? Now, let's begin. Snow White had been sleeping too long. They had her in that elixir or whatever that they had shut her down with. The curse is broken. Snow White is no longer sleeping. The princess is no longer sleeping. So in the central energy, what do we got going on in the central energy? Please, Spirit. Well, you've got your Ace of Pentacles here. You're going to have some abundance. You're coming into your abundance, your opportunities. You could be getting a new job, new partnerships, new businesses. In the challenge, in the challenge position, we have strength and courage and failure. So your strength and courage has caused a failure for somebody. Whoa. What do you do when somebody's trying to squash you and silence you and make you so small? They want to turn you into that little squirrel that got ran over on the road, and that after so many times of tires running over it, eventually it just becomes a stain, right? And that's kind of what they wanted you to be, just kind of a stain, a remnant of a stain that the rain would wash away, whatever, I don't know. This chemical rain, this acid rain, whatever it is. In the subconscious, new beginning. You got a freaking new beginning. You got an Ace of Pentacles. Your strength has pulled you through this. Your adversaries are very upset. And they have failed to move against you in the recent past. Magician. Magician. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, we got multiple universes out there, like limitless numbers of universes, you know. And we have a magistrate now that's very strong, and these guys failed to sacrifice this planetary mother figure. But there are limitless numbers of universes, so there could very well be many divine feminine mothers out there who are actually in a universal gatekeeper position. Like the divine feminine, I feel, is being elevated throughout the entire system of things. So it kind of, you know, I'm kind of like, you know, I kind of lose patience a little bit when somebody says, I am that. And it's like, there's so many. I mean, there's limitless numbers. There's to just, oh, you know, there are so many. So just because one person may be the universal gatekeeper of this particular universe doesn't mean that, you know, you aren't a universal gatekeeper of another universe. There's different scenarios, it seems, being played out at the same time. You know how AI does simulations and they calculate and all of that? Well, with the Most High Creator, Mother Father, it seems, of the organic side of things, they also have simulations, but they are in the form of multiple universes, where with multiple planetary systems that have multiple life forms on them, right? So everybody's get tested. It's one of those things. So the magician is here in the recent past. See, they were expecting your life of luxury. That was their intention. They know that you got it coming to you, but they're in a freaking nightmare because your strength has caused them a failure. Their magic wasn't able to work on you. Hi. Hello, everybody. In the near future, we've got celebration. You know, all of you out there, you know, when we have like emotional issues, I mean, granted, a lot of it is from our own personal experiences and trauma, but if you're an empath, you're also picking up on other people having these experiences. So not only do you have your own triggers and trauma that you have to learn to hold in temperance and you know, balance the shadow and the light and all of that, but then you got all of this other energy out there that is going under the same thing that you're undergoing. But a lot of them, they can't alchemize. They don't know how to process it. And so they're, you know, spewing it. They got to vomit it. They got to get it out of themselves somehow. And so they talk about it, or they yell about it, or they want to fight about it or something, because they don't know how to alchemize. So the empaths of the world kind of pick up on that, and they're carrying a heavier load because they're kind of being forced into processing that in the realm, so that everything doesn't collapse and get destroyed. But it looks like we're getting some kind of a relief. But those who are accustomed to chaos and pain and suffering and dominating others, they don't want you to be peaceful. They're in a nightmare. This magician is in a nightmare because they failed to take your pentacles, because you're just too damn strong. They failed to take your life of luxury. Those who had been using your light and your life force through sacrifice and such to be seen as billionaires and millionaires and whatnot and great businessmen, they're losing it all because it was all an illusion built on harvested initiation rewards and ascension authority at the gate. The gatekeepers, these religious gatekeepers and whatnot, were taking it from the initiates. And then using clairs they had not earned to hurt people with their immaturity. And yeah. Woo! And there we go. In the environment, yeah. Tension. So there's still, I'm sorry, in the lens that's being looked through, so tension. Yeah, there's a celebration here because we were looking at that. Those people that were wanting to fight with you, those rivals, they're in a nightmare. Their magic didn't work. They have failed to stop your new beginning and your abundance. We got history or nostalgia here. They're still wanting to do things. Apparently, they want to silence the lamb, the God's chosen, innocent representative or whatever, this mother figure. They want to silence this mother figure. They've said amongst each other, we've got to put up with the Marys for a while. Well, the mothers are being elevated and they are coming into their authority or whatever, their teacher mode, their wise woman mode, their healer mode. They're getting recognized as they should be. Yeah, Solomon. Apparently, for centuries, they have been the lambs that have survived or whatever. They go into this space, this heavenly space or whatever, where these frauds are gatekeeping people, and then they get themselves set up, and then they flip and copycat them. So they've had a really joyous time in this heavenly space or whatever, bringing in the stars and then flipping them. Apparently, they do it on the first year wedding anniversary or something like that. It's a weird system of harvest that they've got going on. Lots of history. So, hopes and fears. Hopes and fears. Well, we got the 10 of Cups in the reversed. Shattered dreams. They're being disconnected from total love and support because guess what? They're not total love and support. It's all about fame. It's all about authority. It's all about people doing what they say because they think themselves, they have a grandiose sense of self. And the outgoing energy, we've got the 4 of Swords. So you could be recuperating, renewing, making plans for the future. Yeah. Well, the pure souls are so loving, and these copycats, which they look and act a lot just like us, but there's a problem. There's some kind of weird glitch. They don't have empathy. They can't feel love. They can act like it. They can certainly pretend, but they don't have the capacity to actually feel emotions unless it's glee at somebody's suffering because they're low vibrational. They tend to get off on that from my understanding. For themselves, they have sympathy for themselves, but nobody else. Excuse me, sorry about that. I got some root beer. I haven't had root beer in a long time, but it's so good. So I got the burps, sorry about that. Well, sympathy can be faked. It can be faked. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, while they're sticking somebody with a knife. Oh, does this hurt? Oh, I'm sorry. That's more like what they are. So you're getting a rebirth here. You're getting a rebirth here in the territory, in the community. There's a celebration going on. The law of cause and effect is in order. It's like whoever is in this territory in these oh crap. The high priestess is going to get a dang devoted union. Perhaps she's overseeing unions. Perhaps she is like the guide, the counselor, the source-connected mother figure who is making sure that everybody is matchy match. It's not just, a desire or a crush. That it's a legitimate plan to be supportive of each other and then to make sure that each party has what is necessary to be supportive for each other, right? So she's the ultimate mother, perhaps guiding unions And I think that this is one of the things that got these cornholios so upset. They were traveling here from another dimension. In this other dimension, there doesn't appear to be actual women, just men who are dressed as, and they came here through these dimensional portals or whatever, and they wanted to compete with the actual divine feminine for the wealth of the womb, because they don't have that. So they came through this dimensional thing to be here in the realm, and they wanted to gather all the wealth that came from all of the trees, the Star Nation family soul tribes, and suck the wealth from the womb as a connector and a bridge, right? To go in there and act as you and then take all of that wealth. They've been having a great time. Damn, high roller. But the Queen of Cups, she's very passionate here and stable about her new beginning. Yeah. So it could be that those who were making proposals, thinking they were making investments in proposals so that they could cause illusions for other people, is losing everything. You've got your swords up to the enterprise because you know the truth. So there's certain people that you're not going to be collaborating with. They're not going to be part of the enterprise, because the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, the divine feminine and masculine, both know the truth now. You've gone through centuries of these cycles where everything was hidden and you had to keep your guard up. Well, you're weary, you know, but you're still standing. And this Queen of Pentacles has got that Chariot right there. You're going home. You're going home based on the truth of your love. Emperor. Emperor. Temperance angel. Making travel plans. Yeah. So the Emperor. I thought I saw the Empress. Where was the Empress? She was there too. Where's that Empress? Well, I got the High Priestess. High Priestess, Emperor. So the Emperor knows about this High Priestess. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Solomon, yeah. I had Hammerman come one day. It was the most amazing thing. They sent Hammerman. It didn't even have a claw. It wasn't even a claw hammer. It was one of them ball hammers. Freaking dude. As soon as he saw that I had people with me, he turned around and got in his escape vehicle. It was wild. Hammerman. Coming to a woman's house to hammer her because she's talking too much. So you got an Ace of Pentacles here. You got your abundance. You could be getting a new job, a new financial opportunity, because you are conscientious. Your mind is clear. Your house is clear. Your affairs are in order. You don't have any debt. You don't have any addictions. You're not out there being a bar hopping floozy. You're keeping yourself together. You're nice, neat, and tidy. So you're getting your new venture. You kept it together even when everybody was giving you a nightmare. You kept it together. So your strength is here. Somebody's challenged by your strength, causing them a darn failure. Your strength, your courage. You were very intentional about with your life. Limelight. They failed. Your courage and your intention to live your life and to be, clear-minded. They're disappointed. Because you're in the limelight. They have to look up to you now. They're like, they failed. They're like, oh no, look at this giant. You're sitting there. You're like this. You overcame them. Your strength and your courage and your inner fortitude and how you can just kind of go into your new chapter here has this magician all whacked up. This guy or gal, whatever, is doing magic, calling on the spirits, the devils, the demons, whatever, to come in and attack you and hurt you so that they can take your stuff. They wanted your life of luxury. They're in a damn nightmare over it. They wanted to bring you a nightmare. They're doing magic. See, and the thing is that you don't do magic. You simply are in the strength card. You simply are this. You're a vibrant, very big soul. They're calling you a soprano. You're an upper dimensional being. Apparently, long, long ago, you came here to help build a community, but this egotistical little jackass couldn't put up with the power and authority of a sovereign woman. So they decided to go, low vibrational and brutal all over everybody, making up all kinds of stories. Could never keep it straight. All they can do, look, conflict. Maybe this is a conflict between magicians, magi's, in the Bible is talking about the 3 magi's or whatever, these astrologers. Everybody's always doing astrology, doing oracles, tapping into people's minds, causing conflict. So they wanted to fight you for your life of luxury, what you earned by keeping yourself pure while they were effing you over. And they wanted to come in and take it. And they're in a damn nightmare. They're in a damn nightmare. They wanted to fight you for it. And now they got to fight all right, because God is like, what the hell are you doing with my lineage there, boy? Hey, boy, I hear you think you're a magician. Well, oh man. Okay, well, wait a second. You got a new beginning. So they wanted to bring a conflict to your new beginning. Okay, so wait a second, because I skipped this spot. So now we've got the magician. They want to bring conflict to your new beginning. They are failed because of your strength and your light. You're seen as like some kind of a giant energy. This magician, it was prophesied. It could be that you are a magician. You could have been, like, there was a curse that was broken. You could have been a reincarnated magi that had been trapped and then siphoned or forced to alchemize this shit from these other, competitor magicians or whatever. So there was a prophecy. There's a prophecy. You're going to get a life of luxury. They wanted to fight you for it. They didn't want you to come in to be with your person. They didn't want you to get your reward. They're having a nightmare because you love yourself. They're having a... Look, they gave you a bunch of trauma because they wanted to get your life of luxury, but you took care of yourself. When they gave you a nightmare, you took care of yourself. And so now that nightmare very well could be on them. They're in despair because you freaking love yourself. Look at this beauty. Look at this. This magician, this fancy pants, big old man and all his brojos are out there throwing shit magic at this beautiful woman out here just bringing beauty to everything she touches. And you got this asshole out there who knows that she's coming into a life of luxury. So he's doing freaking magic on her. What an a-hole. I'm a man. I conquered that one. I heard one of them say that. I conquered her. Oh, sure you did. Sure you did. Sure you did. Sure you did. So you handled things perfectly. Look, there's a celebration here because you handled things perfectly. You didn't engage in battle. You simply went within and what? Trial and error. Found this supplement, this herb, that herb. What is it that's going to bring you homeostasis? Heal the poison. The poison sickness that this world is. You got all these snake-driven sick care medical facilities. They got everybody on medicine. And I don't think you went that route. I think you went a different route. Everybody's all mad because you're out there taking plants, and healing yourself, you know, and you did it perfectly. You didn't take any shortcuts. You didn't say, hey, this hurts too bad. Hey, devil, just go ahead and stop. I'll give you what you want in this conflict. It's like, no, they were whacking you over the head, sending you nightmares into the mind, into the life. And you just kept your peace. It's like, here we go again. You know, you feel like for me and others, I know that we got a lot of empaths and alchemists out there. So when this heavy energy comes in, it hurts, man. It can cramp the heart, and it can put like daggers and stuff into the solar plexus. It's so heavy and dense. And it really takes a while, but it's like, okay, here we go again. You feel that energy coming in, and you're like, here we go again, you know, and you got to go freaking alchemize it. And it's like, these guys just never stop. They never stop effing around in other people's energy field. And it's like, really, dude, is this all you got to offer the world? That's it? That's all you got? That's all you got? There was no competition. You are who you are. The energy you supply is the energy you supply. You are what you are, and they are what they are. And the only way that they can beat you is to just somehow Judas you, somehow get a knife in your 3D body, somehow to red rum you. That's all they got. Their magic is weak. Their curses are all broken. God stepped in and elevated this. The divine feminine is being elevated, and it doesn't matter what Cornholio thinks. It just does not matter what these interdimensional time traveler Cornholios think. Go back to your own dimension and stay there. But I don't think God's going to let him go have their happy home anymore, because they tried to destroy his family. I'm pretty sure he's going to destroy that timeline. So there's history here. I suppose maybe I'm being a little disrespectful to people who are two-spirited, but people who are two-spirited typically don't go out and then flaunt their sexual activity all over the world, you know. So I'm not talking to them when I'm talking about Cornholio. I'm talking about the trafficker, the freaking human trafficker. The interdimensional, they set up their own little haven over there where they got the man and they got the man, but their man is an actual man dressed as a woman, and they like that. They like that timeline. They like their timeline without women, but they have to come to this timeline and they have to harvest the money, the wealth of the family tree out of the divine mother's womb. They got to take it with them over there because they don't have it over there. They don't have access to source creation finances. They chose not to choose that. But they come over here and then they get with a female and they have a child so that they can tap into that spiritual inheritance of the womb. And then they toss her aside, and then they tap her bank account and the child's bank account, and they take that back over to their interdimensional home. So they're stealing our wealth, and they're leaving us here without support, without a protector in this world of villains who traffic everybody. So it's really weird. Driver. So these kin, this family, this tribe was magically driving the life of this sweetheart. And, you know, their hope and fear was that you would not get into this. And they're afraid that they're not going to get into this. They're not getting into it. They didn't want you in it. They wanted you out. And they've kept you out of this space for thousands of years while they've been siphoning your life force and causing you pain and suffering. While they've been getting your Star Nation soul tribe to hate you by wearing your face and tapping into your energy and hurting other people in your home tribe Star Nation space. They wanted you rejected forever. And they were trying to drive you into that rejection. Uh-oh. Crash pad listings. Sorry about that. Where'd that go? Optimism. So we got optimism in the reverse. So we've got the history of this kin that was driving you. It's a broken family. The disconnection. They're disconnected from you. They disconnected from you. They abandoned you. They unalived you, sacrificed you, disconnected from you. I guess what? Adopted you out into another family, threw you away, stole your identity, gave you a different identity. They're not optimistic. They're not happy. They're disconnected because of how they drove your life in the history and your experiences for union. So they didn't want you to be happy, and they don't want you to be in a union. And they may, in the history, have driven your life to where you never did get into a family unit, and you may not have been very happy. You may not have actually had a blissful relationship or anything, because this kin didn't want you, sweet. They knew that you were coming into this life of luxury because this is who you are. This giant who actually keeps yourself in temperance energy. You're an absolute, you take your life and yourself very seriously without ego. You do the actual work. It's like you're humble. It's between you and the divine. And these men and all these jealous hoes, you're not out there communicating with them, comparing yourself with them. You're like working with God and with the mother. You're just out there doing your work, trying to add value to your soul so that you can bring it home to your Star Nation soul family. And these jackasses wanted to interfere in that. They wanted to take the reward up there and say, look what I did, I'm so good. But they're not good at all. They're just really foul. They're not able to martyr you. So you've been renewed. You're making plans for the future. You have recuperated. They're not able to martyr you. They're not optimistic here. They've caused domestic disharmony in the past for you, for many others, driving their lives with this stupid magic, haunting. They were haunting. They were not able to martyr you. They were haunting the mind of a beautiful, wholesome, a powerful person, female. They were driving insanity through her mind. They wanted to get her institutionalized. They did not want people to see her as what she is, a giant, a titan, an otherworldly figure, man. And you got these entities, these fallen angels posing as men, whatever, I don't know. They're not actual men. They were trying to martyr a beautiful woman who keeps her life clean. She's not an addict. She's not an alcoholic. She's not a whore. She's not out there lying, scheming, cheating, stealing. She's doing the freaking work, man. And that's why she's like this. She did the work. She did the work. Now, this magician wanted to unalive her, sacrifice her, and then wear her energy and be seen as that. But he's not. He's not. He's just a magician. He's just an illusionist, wanting to dress up in the energy of a powerful woman. Isn't that something? And he says that he's the best because he's a big man and he can beat her up and unalive her with no problem at all, you know? She's spiritually freaking way beyond his league. Way beyond. Way the F beyond. So there's a forgiveness because she's seen as faithful throughout this whole mess, while all these jackwagons were brutalizing divine feminine in all of her different aspects all over the damn world, you know. So it could be time for you to be making an appearance into a status of privilege, because you are love. Love is gaining privilege. Those who are love are gaining the status of privilege, not these envious, jealous, reckless sex, infidel, thief, red rumming chickens. They're afraid because they know that you have expectation of taking this seat. They were expecting to take this seat. They're afraid. They were expecting to take the seat of you, of your shining service role and your home and your spiritual throne, and then do entertaining things with your evermore. There's an important message here regarding a body. They're going to be made invisible. They're going away. You're a sovereign being and you are here and now. These people are addicted to pretending to be you, but you are seen, you are identifiable, and you are being remembered. You are being defended and protected from these religious folks who did not want to settle down and be responsible family men. They just wanted this power and authority, and they wanted to collect everybody's initiation, ascension, rewards, and titles and authorities at the gate while they forced you through another life cycle of stagnation. That's exactly what they've been doing. You didn't do anything. You're a creatress, a creator. They didn't want you to do anything. They didn't want you to do anything. They didn't want you to be seen as somebody of value. So there's a backstory here. You're coming into your purpose and your new life path because you survived what these vain players were doing to you. Oh man, you were able to self-preserve through self-care, through conscientious effort, living life purposefully, adding value to your soul, as we are here to do. However, the majority of the world apparently decided that stealing the value from somebody else's soul was better work or something. I don't know. You're being congratulated because you are you. Those who have been pretending to be you are going into the grave, the copycats. Those who have been pretending to be you, the copycats, the pod people, the perfect replicas, those who are not genetically part of the divine family. They're going down. God said that the divine feminine had been too forgiving with these copycats and their pimps, that we just kept turning the other damn cheek. Like it was a curse, a program. We were like programmed to just always forgive, always turn the other cheek, give them everything that we had to give. They had programmed us to think that keeping anything for ourselves was selfish. So they had messed with our mind in a bad way. William, thank you. My apologies if I don't answer your comment. I kind of get lost in the story sometimes and I don't read the comments for a while. So I'm not trying to ignore you, honestly. I'm not trying to be rude. Well, vengeance belongs to God. There's a reason why we've been too forgiving. I mean, vengeance does belong to God. And there's, our soul knows that, So, but that still doesn't, apparently, you got the power to just annihilate everything. And you know what? That's why you're getting your ascension. Because even though it was your power all along that these nasty jacks had harnessed, tapped into, was pulling off of and using to fuel their own malicious intentions while blaming you because it was your energy signature. Well, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, well, it's your power. It's your power. All you had to do is step into it. But you were programmed, like all of us were, to give, 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 forgive, and then give, forgive, and then give, over and over and over again. Right? And to keep anything for yourself was considered a crime. Your own earnings. Meditation, prayer, conscientious. You kept yourself, look, you're very much connected to the Most High. You've got the faith of a mustard seed, I heard said. Oh, you're getting a GPS. You're on the path of prayer. A purposeful, intentional connection with the Most High. Very conscientious. You're seen as pure. You're not in there with a bunch of malicious, vengeful thoughts flowing through your mind. You got a smile on your face, and you're actually doing housework, which nobody likes. So, in the challenge position, your strength and your courage has caused them a failure. They're very disappointed at this loss. You are seen. You're up here. You're identifiable. You're like bling, 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 bling. Hello. And this person is like, rah. They want to go hit you in the head because you're getting a new beginning. You prayed. God heard your prayers. And you know the thing about prayer is, you can't just say, you can't just have something go wrong in your life and say, oh God, get me out of this, da, 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 da. No. God's going to make you go through the experience a while. And he's going to watch and see, is your prayer sincere? Or are you going to get impatient and then resort to hurting people? Getting tricky with it, Everybody's tested to see what is in your heart and your soul. And what is it that you think you can get away with? And why would you? I mean, everybody's tested. Somebody's drinking to cope because you're in the limelight. Everybody can see you. You're like a titan. You're like one of them upper dimensional angels or yeah. And when you came here, like prisoner of war type stuff, they decided that they were going to give you a twist. So I don't know, they did some kind of weird genetic thing, thinking that they could bury you in the pits of hell if they gave you a twist, but you're not like them. You're built different. So you're turning your back here. You got a new beginning. They were trying to fight with you, but you're turning your back on those masculines and what other feminines they could rally up to move against you. You're turning your back on them. You got a new beginning. You're found innocent. You've been praying to God. You're on the path of prayer. Conscientious. This magician is there. Trying to manifest something, or you could be a magi from prophecy or something that was prophesied. You could be a magi that was prophesied. Married. So it could be, well, there's a magician here looking at the prophecy, marriage. Now, didn't they say that Jesus was going to be coming back as the mother or something? I don't know. I'm not up on any of this stuff. Hello from Las Vegas. Hello, Sandy. So the magician, there's a prophecy of marriage. And it could be that maybe that's what this was all about, this competition, this conflict. They knew that you were going to get back together with your twin flame. These twin flames that were like separated by a mirror, or you were like in separate dimensions and you were growing separate, and there's a conjunction, like these timelines are about ready to cross. You're about ready to come in with your person and get married. And these magicians were trying to set up, like they have many, many other times, a copycat, wherein your face, your energy, your voice, hoping that he would pick, or she would pick them, because they know that you got this life of luxury. 9 of Cups. Somebody's in a nightmare that you have self-care. Somebody's upset because this magician is upset because you took care of yourself, you survived. And there's a celebration here, 3 of Cups, community, happiness. You handled it perfectly. There's peace here. You kept your peace. You are a temperance angel. You know exactly what to do in order to keep your thing going. We got no strings attached. So there's no feelings here. There's no feelings at all for those who chose no attachment. They chose no strings attached. They chose no relationship. They chose entanglement, but they chose to also reject. So there's no feelings about them. Nope. There's no feelings. They just wanted to F around and get some kind of cord, some kind of tag, tap into that energy. You don't have any feelings for them. Go away. They're here fighting, competing. They just wanted to tap into that womb of power and pull off your energy so that they could be seen as powerful. Isn't it sad, man? I mean, these guys are supposed to be a powerhouse all on their own that we should be able to lean into. You know, like the wall of a house. We should be able to say, and then just kind of take a rest when we need to. But no, leaning up against these ones, that's like falling into a big black hole. You kidding me? Leaning up onto those ones would be like giving them your soul value. And then they throw you into a deep dang hole. Bad credit. They don't have a job, man. All they do is go hurt people and take their money. They don't have a job. They're just professional chaos makers. And they target women and children. Isn't that great? So freaking nice. So we've got nostalgia here. In the environment, we've got nostalgia of this kin driving your mind, your life, your experiences. They could have been driving the minds of those around you. They could have been like interfering in any of your friendships or your relationships over time, centuries, lifetime after lifetime. These people who kept siphoning your life force energy. They what? Take you out of here at the age of 30 when you're supposed to be living to 80. So somebody just siphoned 50 freaking years of life force off of you. Karmic lesson. You've learned your karmic lesson here. You've learned it. Hopes and fears. So they didn't want you to be in this. They could be afraid that they're not going to be in that. They wanted you to lose hope. They could have lost hope. They're having a karmic lesson. There was a karmic lesson. These competitors now have to go through a karmic lesson. Karmic ties. So this is them. Because of the history of this kin driving your life into karmic lessons. She's got to learn her lesson. She has to learn her lesson. This jackass, they wanted to get the maximum freaking reward off of you, Divine Feminine. So they gave you the most excruciating, according to them, impossible life path. And they were going to take you right up on out of here and then extract the reward, the ascension value, the authority, the gatekeeper positions, the wealth, the money, the status. This karmic is losing sleep. They're not having they're not optimistic about anything because they're disconnected out of this land, out of this territory, out of this total love and support territory. They're out of here, man. They're not optimistic. They're losing sleep over these karmic ties. They wanted you to have a karmic lesson, and and then I had the thing where I was listening. There was a woman at the crossroads, and she was coming in. It was like the universal gatekeeper that God had just given the Rainbow Covenant and all this extra authority to. This person. And we got some religious dude gatekeeping or something, and he wouldn't let her in. And there's a masculine there, and he's arguing with this gatekeeper, saying, she did all the work. Nobody helped her. She did it all. And he's like, I don't care. And they were arguing. And finally, this gatekeeper says, drop it. He was there to harvest her reward. They gave her an impossible, torturous life path where she would get a significant return on it. But this asshole was right there at the gate wanting to take it and then put her back through an eternity of suffering. This cheap ass little bitch magician wanted to cheat his way into a freaking paradise. He deserves what's coming to him. All of them do. God said they will get what they deserve. And it isn't this battery, this beautiful, self-loving, gorgeous, freaking divine feminine that they dragged through hell for centuries. No, it's not her life. They're never going to get that again. Never. Unless they can become it. Running. So they weren't able to martyr you here. You're recovering, you're relaxing, you're resting, you're healing. So much crap has gone on. You're just like, breathe, you know? And they weren't able to martyr you. They're not able to martyr you. They're running. Maybe they don't want to be martyred. They're not able to martyr you. You're in the Four of Swords. So they're not able to martyr you. And now these karmics licking their damn knives. Ew, I'm gonna be this person. Oh, they're running. Loses sleep, worried. These premeditated red rummers, these thieves that have done it over and over and over again throughout the centuries, lifetime after lifetime, they've been sticking a knife in it, taking the reward of good people. And now they got the freaking audacity to call out your name. Oh, they want to call out the name of divine feminine that they left hanging. They took everything from you, and then they left you hanging, and then they spit on you. They shit on you. They took a big pee on you, and they didn't care. They slandered your name to everybody in the world and everybody in the galaxy. Lifetime story of Earth Woman. Oh yeah, they wanted to make sure the entire universe knew that they thought you were shit. Everybody knew what they thought of you. Everybody except you. You just knew life sucked and it was hard. So they're spying on you from secret accounts. There's a separation. They might be getting separated. They might be reflecting on their catfishing copycat days of the history. They're not happy. Jezebel. Jezebel's not happy. Oh, she misses you. She misses you, honey. She's a freaking psycho. She misses your energy. She wants to be seen as you, but she's blocked. The queen bee blocked her. Queen bee freaking blocked her. And now she and her little gigolo are out there sending love messages, getting readings and stuff. Oh my God. They're wanting to pop the question. They're hoping to pop the question, but they're getting rejected. Their love spell is getting rejected. It's not gonna work. They're in a firestorm of freaking karma, and divine masculine is saying goodbye to all these Jezebels because of their stupid mirror magic. Because it's not them. They're presenting themselves as somebody that they aren't. They're devils, man. Out there licking the knife of the true divine feminine. after they backstabbed the true twin flame, this masculine. Oh, let's go just stick a knife in divine feminine. Oh yeah, honey, I want to get down and dirty with you. You're the best. Freaking backstabbed his twin flame. And now she's turning her back on him and he's got massive regrets. And guess what, Cornholio? Nobody gives a shit. Because we love ourselves. Boy, we don't need you, you arrogant SOB. Go back to your dimension. Because they've been cast an illusion and trickery over romance. These sex addicted, they want to tap that womb of power. These magicians, these illusionists, they got bad news. God is fed up with their bullshit. And they're going to go through some cycles like you had to. The cycles of karmic lessons, these impossible paths that you had to actually graduate out of. And you didn't. God actually resurrected you after Osiris approved of what it was in you, or whatever, confirmed with God what it was in you. God's fed up. God's fed up with this nasty shit. And shocking news for the workplace affair. Everybody going to work, tapping into the CEO, being seen as a businessman or whatever. It's too late for the thug. They're having an ego death. They're in a downward spiral because their true colors are seen. This is a happily single nasty jack. Divine masculine is ashamed for dealing with the shady mask wearer and keeping the divine feminine a secret. The beloved child, the true twin flame that they backstabbed, front stabbed, every way stabbed. Yeah. Now this reckless sex trap, there is got them in a funeral. They're gonna get a return on all of their effort with this stupid love hate, side hustle, living the fine life while you pay the price. Isn't that wonderful? You've been illuminated. You have brought forth a discovery regarding these toxic people bumping heads. Your soul value is now mine. Oh yes, in the spirit, I'm the princess. Well, no, you're not. That's you. And now they're having criminal paternity things, traffic tickets. They're getting divorced out of their property. They could be messed up in the head. They're getting detached. Those who ghosted you are getting detached. We're closing the cycle of them feeding on your energy and then being fake busy, just pretending like they're actually doing something in the world. No, they're feeling like shit because family is free. Your family is free. The curse is broken. You're no longer a prisoner of war. God is claiming you, and these ones cannot keep you, even though they're really trying. They're out there grabbing up the indigenous people off the street. These good people, they're not freaking thug, MS-13 gang drug traffickers. Are you kidding me? No, their slogan, it says there right on their podium up there that they're speaking from, one of ours, all of yours. These people are in a war with God. And God said the land is going back to the indigenous people, the people of families. And they just went out and took a man who was walking down the street with his wife and their daughter with an ice cream in her hand. They just took that man right off the street while mama and daughter sat there and cried. And they're like begging them not to kill them, not to kill him. Are you kidding me? So anyway, yeah, governing systems right now, they're really mad because they've lost everything and they got to get the hell off the planet. They're not about family. They're not about family trees. They're not about affordability for families. They're not about health care for the families. They're not about food that doesn't have 3 passes of poison over it before it hits the freaking supermarket shelves. They're not family. These are jackasses. These are not even human beings. These are somebody else. This is an interdimensional species, an uninvited guest. They don't have divine feminines over there. They don't have any females. It's just men who are doing their thing. But they have to come into this realm and tap that womb of power so that they can tap that spiritual bank account of your soul tribe, your Star Nation soul tribe. The sweet talkers are going to the police station. They're getting arrested and they're under pressure. They're under pressure. Time is running out. You've got spiritual gifts. They were trying to steal your spiritual gifts. They wanted to take possession of your spiritual gifts. This person has been living in your territory, in the territory of your Star Nation family, as you, for centuries. Fucking people, killing their animals, burning their cars, stealing their husbands. And now they have the poor things. They're complaining that they're so cruel. Yeah, they are. They are. Centuries, man. These women, these old karmic bitches, they've been sent of these horrible, cruel, vicious entities after us. And now they get to deal with it finally. They get a return. It's been thousands of years. They've put out so much suffering. They've stolen so much life force and so much wealth out of the Most High God's family by posing I was sick and crying too for a long time. Oh yeah. Well, fortunately, I don't know, Mary, there's Google. I mean, I don't know what kind of help you need. Commitment. So you have a commitment. Look, you are committed. You've always been committed. And you had these nasties out there taking your stuff and trying to frame you as though you were a floozy and wasteful and mismanaging your life. But you're not. You were never doing that. You were always the value that everybody else was portraying themselves as because they were siphoning it off of you. So your strength and your courage has caused them a failure, a disappointment that you are seen as the giant. They're drinking to cope. They're trying to cope with you being your magnificent light. You are obviously a titan compared to their, I don't know, Shorty. We got Shorty there. Shorty there is drinking to cope. You're a prayerful person. And one of the things, when those words fed up came in, I heard God say, they do love me. So everybody was tested. Those people that were patient and persevering and resilient through suffering, they were fortified. They kept adding strength and durability and capacity to the strength of their soul. And, you know, they were tested, and then they were proven. Research, I guess, of the divine is different. I mean, everybody asks, why would they allow it? Well, I don't know. I guess because everybody needs to be tested. God needs to see, are you going to become a devil, or are you going to pray and just be patient and wait for God to arrive to avenge you, you know? Are you going to do what these people do? Like most of the world did what these people do, it seems. Everybody in government, anyway, at least in the U.S. I don't know about other government. At least in the U.S., these people, they got some kind of stuff going on. Plagiarism being one of them. So they failed. Your strength and your courage has caused them a failure. You're seen, you're in the limelight. You've got public recognition. You're seen as a giant. They're drinking to cope. You could have a commitment. You are committed to marriages. Earth sign. There could be an earth sign that's drinking to coke. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You're getting a new beginning, and they were creating conflict with you. They got pleasure in it, and you're turning your back on them. You're turning your back on conflict. You're getting a new beginning, and you're turning your back on conflict and all of those who brought it and all of those who want to bring it. And you're a psychic, so you know who wants to bring you conflict. And you're not going to invite them into your house, most likely. You're not going to share your food with them or let them near the food because they'll probably try to poison it. Now that we've had thousands of years of experience of this brutality and their method and their strategy of genocide and exterminating entire species, you know, I mean, it should be very clear that they don't really care about how we feel. They have a specific agenda regarding the type of life that they wanted to have here. And it didn't have anything to do with the original people. They wanted them gone, and they wanted to create a genetic species that they thought was greater than the original people, which was God's creation. Right? So they got busy in the science lab, and they started splicing and dicing their freaking genome. And they took love right out of themselves, man. And they considered a weakness. They consider love a weakness. But love is one of the most powerful things there are. And unfortunately, they weren't intelligent enough to see that. Spy. Somebody's spying. You're turning your back on conflict. Somebody's got their eye on you. There could be somebody in the territory still that is planning something, because I heard a female say that this was just temporary. They were going to let this woman get in there and establish herself, and then they were going to flip and copycat her. So you got to be on the watch. There are people in the territory. They've been successfully cloaking themselves for thousands of years. But if they can't leave to harvest energy, then eventually they'll burn out and they'll be seen, I suppose, if they're not their own source or supply. So we got the magician there looking at prophecy of your marriage, you sweet, beautiful beauty. You were like a prophecy of marriage, of your marriage. Liar. Somebody lied. A magician, prophecy, married, liar. Somebody, a magician, wanted to present themselves as your person, as your prophesied partner. It's a liar. They want your 9 of Cups life of luxury. There's a nightmare here because of your self-care. Somebody may have lied about being married to you so that they could tap into that wealth. You may have gotten married to somebody years, thousands of years ago, and they may have unalived you and tapped into your energy, your essence, and dressed up as it so that they could access all of your gifts and your wealth. Liar. They're upset and in a nightmare over your ability to keep yourself alive, to see the beauty, to remain loving. And you're letting them go. And you're letting them go. They're in a nightmare. You're letting them go. You care enough about yourself that you're like, look, dude, all you want to do is fight with me. I'm not interested, so I'm going to have to let you go. You have nothing to offer except fight, and I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not spending any of my resources on this shit that you want me to buy. No. Take it the F on down the road. Nobody needs that. I'm not buying that crap with my love. And I certainly wouldn't expect anybody in my family to buy this kind of crap with their love. I wouldn't expect them to let this kind of crap into their sacred space. did you see that? Patience. So competition, bad credit, unemployment, patience. Just a few more months, good things come to those who wait. So they may think that something is coming to them. You don't feel anything for these no strings attached people. They're just out there creating energetic entanglements and effing around with people's sacred essence, their sacred soul value. They're just playing with it like it's a freaking little piece of putty or something. What the hell? Thank you, Shayna. Grateful. Thank you. My goodness. Oh my goodness. So we've got history here of your kin driving your life. Like that you may have had to ask permission, or they may have fought with you all the way. You wanted to go do something, or you want to go do something. You got these kin trying to drive your life. They're trying to, and maybe they did, maybe they do, maybe they are gonna go have a karmic lesson. Maybe it's their time too. Maybe those kin are now being driven into a karmic lesson because of what they did to you in the history. They got to go back and experience those things now. They got to learn their lesson. They wanted you to learn your lesson by forcing you to experience these things. And now they have to go learn their lesson on what the hell it was that they decided to do about that. So we got 10 of Cups in the reverse. We've got optimism in the reverse. They're worried, losing sleep about over these karmic ties. This is the life that they decided to live. They decided to lie about being married or wanting to be married or wanting to build with you. It was all a sneaky stick a knife in it and put you in the dark while harvesting your soul value. Dressing up in your energy and pretending to be you. These are actors and actresses. These are infiltrators from an interdimensional doorway that came here to entertain us while draining our spiritual accounts and effing up our damn Star Nation soul tribe. Using our body, our consciousness as a connector and a bridge to go in there with our face and wearing our energy and fuck around with our beloved family. Trying to make sure that we would forever, ever, ever be kicked out and never allowed back in. Are you kidding me? And they dare call on your name and ask for mercy? Ask you to trade them your dharma for their karma? Really? They don't have any intuition. They got disconnected from you. They lost their clairs. Four of Swords, renewal, recuperation. They were not able to martyr you, and now they're running. They might be running because they're being martyred. God's recycling this hybrid experiment or whatever. It sounds to me like he's recycling the failed experiment, as he called it. You are protected. You are protected. So they were not able to martyr you, and now they're running away from your guardian. It's exactly what. Look at it. They're not able to martyr you. They're running from your guardian. Running. Oh. Yeah, he's scary. Thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Kisses. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the kisses and the hugs. I'm grateful. Yeah, so they couldn't martyr you. And now they're running. Oh no, run. But they're running from your guardian angel. And you're just here resting and relaxing. Your guardian is like, you better not be messing with mine. Absolutely not. You better go ahead and take that little attitude right there. Yeah, they're not happy. They're losing sleep. They're not going to be part of this scenario anymore. They could be getting kicked out of the territory They're losing their clairs if they ever had any, because they were all stolen clairs anyway. They would go get a contract with a high vibrational, very successful person, and then they would what? These antagonists, they said that it was a typical, I guess, on the first year anniversary to sacrifice them to this devil and then replace them with these weird clones or these weird freaking AI robotic freaking things. There's this man. Who is that man? It's got that woman. She's got these big eyes and she looks like a freaking robot. And I don't know. It's like, what model number is it? I don't know. The hell. So they're running from your guardian, and it says they'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. Health issues could arise. They could be going to the doctor. They got to go back to the doctor. They took a gamble. They may have addiction problems. Those who gambled with you have to move on. So give it a little time. We've got divine timing. Give it some time. Everybody's being sent back or going back, or everything that they did to you is going back. We've got an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, who wants to compromise and work it out. But this dude is a centuries old premeditated brutalizer of an innocent person that they faked a marriage with, and they've been kept in a cursed cycle, trigger cycle, over and over and over. This person isn't sincere about wanting to work anything out. That person should not be, absolutely not, ever given entry into your energy. They're a master magician at siphoning energy and then using it to create illusions and hurt people. They use their people's energy to bind them. They take people's energy and then bind them with it. They could be doing something with pets. These could be intelligent animals. They want you to open your heart to them. Luck is on your side. You're birthing something new, or somebody's birthing something new, trying to manifest something from a distance. Water sign. They want a date night with you, but this is a third party trying to make a confession about something. Somebody may confess that they're a third party about this intimate thing. And maybe they're having challenges. That's why they were having challenges. Maybe because they were confused about their sexuality or whatever. Maybe they want to marry you. But it's saying use caution because they're recommending divorce. Get divorced. One thing is ending. Another thing is beginning. No narcissist. Don't go back to the narcissist because you're moving and you're traveling soon. And this person is a gold digging love spell magician. They're targeting a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or they could be one. But it seems to me they could either be that air sign, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius. They could be an earth sign because this earth sign is drinking to cope. So it looks to me like you got an air sign and an earth sign targeting you, fire sign. I think this female is a fire sign. And you've got you got an air sign and an earth sign here that were fighting with you. And we got a magician here. We got prophesy, marriage, liar. Somebody lied. Somebody could have lied. The illusionist. They were trying to cast illusions about you so that you would not get married. They didn't want you to come together with your twin flame. They didn't want you to be accepted. They wanted you to be rejected by your Star Nation soul tribe forever and ever and ever. Because they've been siphoning off of your womb and using that as a power source to fuel their dominator magic. That is mean, man. And they've been leaving you alone there without anybody to help you while they've just been beating you up and stealing from your womb. You probably don't have any children, live ones. So you're conscientious. You're coming into this Ace of Pentacles, a new venture, a new job, a new financial opportunity. You're committed to unions, to families. You pray. You got the faith of a mustard seed. And that's your pathway. Rose. 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 The prayers of the roses have been heard. You've got a new GPS. Those who had been circulated on the street, these roses, these beautiful exhibits. Yeah, the roses, the sacrifices. You're getting a new freaking life. These a-holes. Your courage and your strength have caused them a failure. You got this beautiful light. It's very big, very much bigger than any of these others. They're drinking to cope. This Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is drinking to cope. You've got natural talent, natural ability. You got a personality that some folks, these people think that you have an attitude, but you've got a beautiful personality. You've got raw talent. You've been working with it for some time. You're a natural, and they had you trapped for some time, and now they're crying because you're too strong for them. You're too strong for them. I guess after thousands of years of undergoing trauma, torture, very dramatic things, your soul, your spirit had to fortify. And now you're finally strong enough to freaking make it through the storm. So you're getting a new beginning. The Fool is here. You're turning your back on this conflict. You've got a spy. Someone's got their eye on you, or you are doing your research. Excuse me. Turning your back on conflict. So you're doing your research here. So you're turning your back on conflict. You're doing your research. And you're not letting any mirrors in, any of these copycat mirrors, anybody who entertained that or thought that that was a great way to exist. You're not letting them in. You're doing your research. You're not allowing any copycats in. We're not going to have no mysteries. We're going to know. We're going to be able to know that our neighbor isn't looking to shag our wife or shank us. Put some freaking mercury or some shit in our food or whatever. We're not dealing with no illusions. We're not dealing with no mysteries. We're not dealing with no copycats. We're not dealing with no jealousy, no envy. You're doing your research. And some people are calling it tyranny. And it's like, well, what do you think? Sex trafficking children and women all over the freaking world while turning the men into playing with their gender. Thank you for the gift. Oh, that's wonderful. But I don't like it. They put atrazine in the water, and atrazine is proven to change the genders in frogs. And they've been messing with the freaking chemistry of the temple that houses spirit and soul for some time. And they've been messing with the minds and the genetics of everybody for a long freaking time. So we're not dealing with no illusions. We're not dealing with none of that mystery. We're not dealing with no faker copycats. Ooh, I'm an actor, an actress, and I'm the best there is. Millions of dollars a year I get paid. No mad scientists, no genetic research, none of that crap. Don't tap into the DNA. We're looking at this stuff. And that's one of the things, apparently, is that there's people who have long histories of proven track records of exactly what their stance is and was on what? Indigenous people, their families, their culture, on the forest, on the mother nature, on the mother in general, despite her race. So we got the Magician there looking at prophecy of marriage. This is a liar. A liar. They lied. This shadow demon lied. So there's a magician here. They knew about a prophecy of you being married to your twin flame. They lied. And they said that you slept with them. It was not that. It was an empty room, man. You were never there. They lied. They wanted you to be seen as what? An unfaithful wife. They wanted your 9 of Cups. They're in a nightmare now because you take care of yourself. It's freaking obvious. You're not out here being a toxic lifestyle person. You're taking care of business and you're wearing a damn smile. You're not bothering nobody. They passed your energy around like it was the sweetest thing, the delicious energy. One of them said, "Oh, she's got delicious energy." He loves that energy. Thank you. So they're getting let go. They lied, man. You never slept with them. There was nobody in that room. You're just out here trying to take care of yourself because you got these nasty jacks messing with you energetically, prostituting your energy, trying to call you a prostitute, but you never were. They were just messing with your freaking auric field, your energy, siphoning it, running away. They're getting let go. So they're being let go. They're in a nightmare because you take care of yourself. You're conscientious. You're serious about your life. They thought, because the world that they live in is just toxic. They're out there getting drunk, they're getting high, they're effing this and effing that, and nobody really gives a shit about anybody or anything. But you, on the other hand, you take care. So these people, they might have given you a nightmare because they wanted your life of luxury, but instead, you stopped to smell the freaking flowers. You're wearing that beautiful white dress. You're not obese. You might be a little fluffy, but you're beautiful there. Look at that. And you're taking the time, you're peaceful, you're not trashy. So you're letting go of these folks. They're being let go. Making room for the beginning that's on its way to you now. You might be running away for them, or they might be running away because you're letting them go. I don't know where they're going to go. There's a celebration here because you handled yourself perfectly. You didn't take any shortcuts. You didn't sign any contracts. You didn't do any non-disclosure agreement. You just went into God and you said, okay, what am I going to say now? And God said, okay, here's a story. Go tell the people. And so here you are. Here I am every night sharing the story that God wants me to tell you. Well, yeah, and I guess there's a difference between prostituting somebody's energy and actually prostituting their spirit, which I didn't know. I mean, I know there's a physical, but apparently that's what I heard the other day. So they did your energy, but they didn't do the spirit. So, and I think it's because they were trying to keep your spirit pure so that they could continue to sacrifice you in the 4D. Over and over and over again. They needed your spirit to be pure so they could get that sacrifice, but they needed to harvest the energy from the sacral so that they could exercise that power, right? Did I drop something? So there's a celebration here because you did it perfectly. You took the long way home. You didn't take any shortcuts. You didn't make any deals. Nobody supported you. Everybody was mad. They kept putting these damn knives in you and then licking the tip like it was the best thing in the freaking world. And you don't feel anything about them now. There are no strings. Absolutely no strings. They didn't want strings. There's no strings. Absolutely none. None. No strings. You don't have to have no strings. They didn't want no strings, but they certainly siphoned your spiritual inheritance and wealth for centuries. No strings. They got to pay all that back. Not only do they have to pay back everything they stole, every nasty thing they did to you has to be done to them. Cool down. So it could be there's a pause, there's some kind of solidification, the waters may freeze. I've been picking up on that. Leviathan or whoever's been in the water, siphoning the consciousness, the power of consciousness, effing around with that, using it to kind of as bridges and connectors into other Star Nation family groups. To bring competition, to bring conflict into that space and place. They've got bad credit. unemployed. They didn't want to work. They just wanted to go into your Star Nation soul tribe and as you, and then start taking all the money. That's what they've been doing. So just a few more months. Good things come to those who wait. Have patience. I'll miss you. Yeah, of course they miss you. Or yeah, they miss you. So, and the nostalgia, those kin who were driving you into karmic lessons. We've got sexual confusion. They may have been driving you into some kind of sexual confusion. Like I mentioned, they've been putting that atrazine in the water. You know, everybody's concerned about fluoride being in the water and calcifying the pineal gland. But the atrazine is something far more dangerous because it affects the males in a very bad way. And, you know, and it causes confusion regarding sexuality. So you've ascended beyond that. You've understood what they've been doing, and you figured it out. So what's been going on with this uninvited guest? Like I mentioned, we've got those masculines in this other dimensional space that have been kind of coming into this realm and harvesting the womb of power and the wealth of that Star Nation soul tribe, while claiming the initiation, ascension gifts and authorities at the gate. This false gatekeeper has been taking the ascension gifts and then recycling the soul back through another state of stagnancy, rather than releasing them to elevate their soul tribe, their Star Nation soul tribe, to bring back all of this soul value that they have gathered here and to elevate their Star Nation soul tribe. You've got these people taking that gift and then forcing you back in through another prisoner of war, stagnancy, suffering state. It's what they've been doing. Uninvited guests from these other dimensional spaces where there are no women. They play both roles, but they need the wealth that comes through the portal of the womb. They hate the woman, the mother. So they're being kicked out of the territory of total love and support because they're not totally loving and they're not totally supporting. They need totally supported because they have nothing to offer except conflict, trickery, and brutality, and need, and greed, and jealousy, and hate. So they're not optimistic. They're getting kicked out of the territory. They're losing sleep. They're losing their clairs. They don't have any intuition. They're not connected to source. There's their karmic ties. This is a karmic. They've been getting their intuition by tapping into or unaliving people with these things here. Addiction, torment. So now, you know, if you had to go through lifetimes being addicted or whatever, if you had to carry that karmic storyline for this is their life, but they covered you in it. Like they swapped the energies and titles and all of that. So they were this low vibrational person, addict, and then at the crossroads, they took you, Rose, and then they downloaded, uploaded your personality, your identity, your habitual patterns, your memories, your passwords, all of that good stuff. And then they filled you with this. So now that you are turning your back on conflict, you're not going to pay attention to this damn stuff anymore. You're just turning your back on it. You're like, dude, get away from me, man. I don't have anything to offer you, and you certainly don't have anything to offer me. So now these addicted people, these toxic people are tormented. They're losing sleep. They had you in bondage, and now that's what they have to deal with. All of those addictions, all of that negative energy, all of those negative intentions that they filled you with is coming back on them. You are recuperating and renewed. So they were not able to martyr you. They're running away from your guardian angel right now. They're running away. The night is falling. The sun is setting. on these ones. The lights are going out on the trash. They're drinking. They're drinking. The trash is drinking in its divine timing. They're in eternal regret for leaving you, for gambling you. They made a commitment and they left. They bailed. And they lied about you. Look, this snake, it's a snake. But the apple that never gave up hope is transformed and letting go. You're letting go of them. This apple, the daughter of Eden, the direct descendant, because you're firm with your intuition. The rose is firm. The sacrifice is firm, and they can control their own mind. They're not driven by fear, addiction, sex addiction, anger, rage, malice, woe is me, heartbreak, everybody hates me, none of that kind of stuff. No greed, no need, no nothing. It's just like you're just with yourself and with that, with God, Goddess, internal universe, whatever that is that you got going on. You might be an introvert. You're just happy being by yourself. You might appreciate your sacred space, and you might not like too much stuff going on in it. So you could have done some investigation. You might be a cat. You might be a Lyran, 888 Lionsgate. You may be a Lyran who was here doing some investigative research regarding what this clown was doing with your money. An independent woman. You have discovered all of the communications, all of the records. And now law and order is being restored due to you solving the puzzle of these nasty, toxic, third-party trash heaps going into the shadows, sacrificing good, innocent purity, and then coming back and pretending to be that. Stealing people's identities, their memories, and their struggles and their successes, and then their rewards, while they go back through another cycle of stagnancy and suffering. They've been stealing people's lives. So now you're getting a new beginning because you're ascended. You were, apparently you fell to toe. There was something going on in the upper dimensional space and place regarding this kind of a scenario. And it appears to me that you, powerful woman, you divine mother figure, you came down here to discover what is this clown doing with the finances of our territory. What's going on? Why do we have so many hobos up here in our freaking upper dimensional space? This divine mother may have fallen into this space to see what was happening with the roses, the powers of the womb. What's happening with the daughters? Why aren't the men protecting them? What is this clown doing with the wealth of these powers of the womb? The Star Nation soul tribes of these roses, these trump cards, these sacrifices, the finances, they were trying to destroy the upper dimensional Star Nation soul tribes and their environments, their territories. So it looks to me like this powerful woman came down here and became one of them to discover what was going on with them, and then to come back out of it with the answers of the over and back of this stupid third-party enemy thing. Yeah. So now you're getting a new beginning. Everybody's getting a damn new beginning. We're getting a reset because of your ascension and your promotion. So all of that information has been given to God, and God is down here setting things right now with the entirety of his family, his army, whatever you want to call it. So, because, look, they had silenced the treasure. The roses and the trump cards, the purity was the trump card. I mean, the hidden treasure. So they silenced you. They wrapped your crown. They cursed your crown. They made it so that you would not be able to get telepathic connection with your soul tribe. They silenced you. And then they left you alone, single. They didn't want you having anybody connected. No love, no children. They didn't want you to birth what? Light-bearing people? People who had telepathic connection to source? They wanted your kind to disappear. But you got a miracle and you're being reconciled. Why? Because you sang your song. You're the catalyst. You're the crown. That fierce, independent woman that fell to do research and then tell what was going on with the wealth, the finances, and the roses and the trump cards, the children of the divine, what was going on. This woman fell to tell. Yeah, so about the criminal, forbidden shit that was going down in the history. So yeah, you found the core of the problem. You're meeting up with your person real soon, probably your twin. Core of the problem, you're the key. And we've got home refuge. So there is a breakup and a separation of these thieves. So they have to get out of your house. They got to get out of your house. They got to get out of the territory. They got to get out of this sacred space of the divine feminine, because they left her hanging. They took everything from her, and then they treated her like a prostitute, and they framed her as one while they were up there stealing the wealth of the Star Nation Soul Tribe and framing her as this terrible person. And they were doing it. So this is macro. There's many of you out there. This isn't just one person. It's many people. But so this is what I'm picking up on. Not very nice, man. They didn't. So, and then I heard, there was like apparently this isn't the first time that you've done this. Fallen from the upper realms to discover where this infiltration was coming from. How is this happening? How are they gaining entry? Why are the family trees failing? Where is all this money going? Well, these guys were siphoning the essence out of the golden egg before it could even get into a womb. The golden egg that the upper dimensional were birthing their seed into, that was then supposed to get into this womb here, to come here and add value to the soul and strengthen the union with Creator and all that. Yeah, they were taking the energy from the golden egg before it even had a chance to get into the womb, so that when it came into the womb, then it came in as a lesser, in a lesser state, a weaker state, a less vibrant state. Some people wound up with severe issues, and they wound up in, with all kinds of physical issues, because they got too much energy taken out of that golden egg before they were birthed. Money. So you were praying about that. You're committed to this. It could be that this person that married you, you found out what was going on with the abundance. This nasty Jack is having a disappointment over a failure, because your strength and your courage pulled you through. You're a giant when it comes to your inner strength, your resilience. They're drinking to cope. Earth sign. They're drinking to cope with your talent, your natural talent. They couldn't take it from you. They wanted to take your clairs, your gifts, and then to dress up in it and to be seen as though they were the source of it. But it was, these guys have been running around with other people's energy and gifts, commanding the world, insisting the world give them the honor of, being God's chosen one. And they never were. They were just They were just this trash. And I'm not saying nothing about no ethnicity. I'm saying anybody who feels that they can get away with this kind of shit and then go ahead and steal from people at the crossroads and then insist that those people they stole from treat them as though they're special. Isn't that wild? Social mask. Their social mask came off. Or maybe you're not wearing a social mask. This earth sign is crying over your natural talents. You're not wearing a mask, and their mask came off. You're seeing clearly. So you're getting a new beginning. You're turning your back on conflict. You're not dealing with any mirrors. You're not dealing with any illusion casters. You're doing your research before they get to come in, before they get to take part in your charity or the blessing of your household. You're not going to just let anybody into your house. Not after these experiences. We've got loneliness. So it could be that your distant twin flame is fueling your spiritual journey. Solo venture reveals hidden truths and personal growth. So it could be that you're turning your back on those who were fighting with you. You've done your research. You know all about these mirrors, all about these illusion casters. And it could be that they got to get off the planet. Now, I don't know if they're going to have to actually wear a spacesuit. I've heard talk of these pods. These like space pods or whatever, like they got to go float around in space or whatever. I don't know if that's what they're going to have to do. You know, I mean, we've got interdimensional portals and such, you know, where they have been coming and going. Maybe they'll be able to go over there. I don't know. I don't know. But it could be also that you and your twin flame are mirroring each other. That both of you are not, you're not dealing with this. Could be you're missing your twin flame. This magician, we've got prophecy, married, liar, shadow, empty room. There was never a sexual encounter. There was never a marriage. Like I said, like in the dream space, like, because I was having a dream. But in this space, there was like a priest, and then there was a man, and this man kept trying to get me to masturbate. I mean, it was like this weird magic on my head. Like I was being driven to like my hands were just moving on their own. And then I'd have to consciously stop them and say, no, I don't want to do that. And he kept trying to drive me into the action of it. And I kept having to stop myself from responding to this driven command or whatever. And, there was a priest there waiting for me to have an orgasm so that he could make it official, this stupid marriage or whatever. And I think that's how these jackasses have been getting marriage contracts while many of us have remained single, you know, the majority, if not all of our lives, cycle after cycle, because these asshats have been tapping and tagging us in the spiritual realm, gaining a false contract with us, and then never showing up. But they've been taking all of our wealth out of that spiritual bank account. They've been selling our womb of power to unseen harvesters who come into our bedroom in the middle of the effing night and take from our sacral. There was never a freaking encounter. There was never an encounter. This snake lied. This shadow dweller lied. They said that just so that your person, your Star Nation tribe would reject you. That happened this time too, 17 months ago. There was a like I was sleeping, and then in the middle of the night, it's like the energy in my body drained. Like I woke up and I was cold all over. Like they took all of my life force. So I woke up and I'm jumping around, moving around, trying to warm up. And then the next night I'm laying there, and then they came back in with that energy and they put it back on me. Only it was nasty. It was like orgy magic, and I could feel it in the space, man. I had to get into salty waters and freaking douche and stuff. It was bad. But that's what they've been doing. And then I had to have a psychic investigation to make sure that I hadn't participated into some freaking orgy. And this is what they've been doing to the energy of the divine, though. They've been taking it, and then they've been going and doing an orgy, and then they come back and place that energy back into the person so that it looks like that person actually went and participated, but they never did. They just prostituted the energy and made it appear as. So 17 months ago this happened, and then there was an investigation, and it was seen to be a lie, just like this. So because you're focused on long-term discipline rather than short-term goals, and you don't drink, you chose sobriety. You chose sobriety. You've got self-discipline. This person lied about you and marriage. They wanted you to be seen as a hoe bag, and it just never happened, man. There was nobody in your room. There was never any people in your bedroom. You never invite anybody to your house or into your room or sleep with you. It was a lie. So somebody might have tried to say that they had relations with you and that they got married in the recent past. Somebody may have tried to lie to your person or to the courts that they had married you to get your 9 of Cups, but they're in a nightmare because you take care of yourself. They were never there. There was no marriage. They were never there. They never slept in your bed. They were never in your house. They were lying. Somebody tried to lie and say that they were married to you. They're getting let go. They're running away. They wanted you to be let go. They wanted to take that over. Look, exploit. Exploitation. So there's a celebration here. You did everything right. You handled yourself perfectly. You became a master alchemist. You decided that it was better to just purify, purify, purify. Don't focus on the enemy. Don't engage in a battle or a war. Just focus on adding value to your soul, purifying, and becoming the best that you can be. Just don't pay attention to these people, because that actually takes away from the resources that you need to mend, to heal, to become all that you can be. You don't have any feelings for these no strings attached entities. So there is a calm cool down. They made an unfair assessment of you. They did not give you the credit that you deserved. And now you don't have any feelings for them. They never had any feelings for you. You don't have any feelings for them. It's like, fine. They wanted to fight. They wanted to compete. They don't have any money. They never got a job. All they do, there's some freaking shady outfit out there, probably steals money at the crossroads and then pays these sneaky Pete's to go beat up women and RAP them and shit. And it's just so, oh, I miss you. Patience, just a few more months. Of course they miss you. These no strings attached people that never wanted to be in your life all of a sudden miss you. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? They miss you because they're malfunctioning without your energy. And this says just a few more months because they're falling apart. They don't have any credit. They don't have any energy. They haven't produced anything. They don't have any savings to fall back on. They don't have a support system to fall back on. All they have is these sneaky thieves that they can't count on, because they'll take from them just as much as they would take from anybody. Can't trust anybody. This uninvited guest, there's a history here of this kin driving you into karmic lessons of confused sexuality with an uninvited guest, this interdimensional time hopper where there's no women over there. They just want you to give them the power of your womb and that bridge to your Star Nation soul tribe, so that they can get in there and pretend that you're a whore. Yep. Oh, yeah. You can't trust anybody in this realm when it comes to getting married or anything. You're either going to marry a sleeper, somebody who doesn't know anything. They'll call you insane for talking about stuff like this. They'll ridicule you, tell you that your brain is broken, whatever. Or if you get involved with somebody who knows about this, they could very well be one of these guys. You know, I mean, goodness, I'm sorry, God, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. We got no exit. So there's no exit for the uninvited guest. They were driving you, this family kept driving you into karmic lessons of confused sexuality with an uninvited guest. They didn't want you to get out. This kin has been driving you into that kind of a state. And like I mentioned, I don't know who these people are, but they got access to chemicals that go into the water supply, that go into the food supply. And they've been really doing a number on this stuff. So there's no exit. This uninvited guest didn't want you to exit. They wanted you to stay in a confused sexuality state. We've got the Ten of Cups in the reversed. So there's no domestic harmony for these ones. They're not happy. They don't have any hope. They are losing sleep. They went the wrong route. They thought that it was really great to just freaking hurt people and mess them up in the head and betray their most sacred essence. So karmic ties, they don't have any intuition. They didn't pay any attention to the red flags. They didn't pay any attention to the warnings. They're addicted to your energy. They're addicted to alcohol, other toxic substances, and maybe they're in bondage. They were hoping to get you in bondage, these addicts, but you didn't match them. You weren't involved in their habitual patterning. You didn't take any of that on. You chose sobriety. These people, look, addictions, they're addicted to you. Addictions, torment, twin flame, petty gain, and peeping. So they were astral projecting, peeping, spying, and then spreading malicious rumors regarding the twin flames. So they were doing this. They were saying that you were hanging out in the shadows being a whore. And that was a lie. That was a damn lie. They were telling your Star Nation husband or whatever that you were doing that. It was a freaking lie. They were supposed to protect you. Instead, they abandoned you, and then they prostituted your energy. So you recovered. You've got a renewal here. They could not martyr you. Your energy is pure. You didn't get involved in any of that. It was wild. They're running now from your guardian angel. They're all messed up in the head. The lights are going out. They're drinking. They could be drinking themselves to death or whatever. They're seen as trash, worthless. There's like a sacrifice. There's like an innocent serendipity, a catalyst or whatever, an innocent person that has such great dharma that they're able to assist and help and cover in blessing this protection, this guardianship. So there's an innocent purity out there that is like God's family or whatever. They're covered by this blessing of this mother figure, and this powerful mother figure that was down here, that strong, powerful woman that fell to find out what was happening with the finances of the Star Nation soul tribes. Why wasn't any of this soul value coming back home? Why were we getting trash and Jezebel and just freaking sleazeballs back? You know, why are we getting trashy sleazeballs back into our heaven when they're down there to strengthen their bond with Creator and add value to the soul? What's going on with the money, man? You found out. And now you're delivering a fatal blow. Or God is. Or you are. So God is delivering a fatal blow, but the rose, or this precious mother figure, is finding out, doing the research. And like, there's no mystery, there's no illusions, there's no mirrors. Fatal blow is coming for the copycats, the mirrors, the illusionists, and she's covering whoever. Like, she's hitting her target with those who are innocent, who've passed the test, who are research. The research verifies that they're not a catfisher or a sleazeball, knifer of people in the 4D, whatever. So anyway, they're going away, or it could be that she's here working with her distant twin flame, turning their back on conflict. So there are those that are covered by the rose, but there are others that are getting delivered a fatal blow. They're not covered by the rose. It could be that this guardian here has made an oath to his bride to deliver a fatal blow to those people who had kept her trapped here as a prisoner of war and then made war in the home that she loves so much. That was real rude, man. That was real freaking rude. The rudest. The rudest. They were what? They were making money off of God's secret weapon, this powerful light and this powerful dark, this goddess of time, this universal gatekeeper, a direct descendant, daughter of the lion. Oh my gosh. Daughter of Eden. The wealth is all yours. And these Jezebels, man, they're wringing the neck of Casanova because you broke through. Invisible forces of help are guiding you to break through, and you did. Oh, you broke through and you brought evidence of what these guys were doing. Swapping gifts, comparing wallets with independent women and getting a commitment and then comparing wallets. So you were there doing all the damn work. You really got down and you did it, Mom. And you got Casanova out here. All he's got to offer is a freaking weeping stiffy. And he wants to come and give you a tiny gift of insufficient pleasure and then take all your valuable work, all your valuable success. They're going to prison. Casanova's going to freaking prison. What a sleazeball. The walls are closing in. And they're getting an ultimatum for shitting all over your happy ending. For trying to shit on your happy ending. It says, feeling skeptical. They could be getting an ultimatum because you're feeling skeptical of a happy ending now. You've gone through many life cycles throughout centuries of horrific abuse and torture from these men who were made in the image of God, supposedly here as representative of God. Rolling in the freaking dough. Home dum dum dum. I'm a success story. And the mother is a prostitute. Yeah, all right, shitheel. Now God is going to shit all over your head because you made the mother doubt her happy ending. Because you destroyed trust in the minds of the mothers and the child regarding the father. They might have trouble believing in happy endings now because of how many times you destroyed their trust in the false promise of a happy ending. Yeah, God is giving you an ultimatum, guidance from above. Those who were chasing quick gains by causing brutalizing experiences for others, you're going to be in trouble, man. You will not be stepping on this new family tree. Absolutely the F not. You're going to get distracted. You're going to have accidents. You might drown. You're going down. You're going down. You told false stories on the daughters of Eden. You told false stories about yourself. You dressed up in a mask with their face, with their body, and you came up and you lied about who you were, trying to get married to this woman's husband so that you could tap into the wealth of the territory, of the home that she loves so much. Yeah. So now they're drinking because they're in trouble. Danger is approaching. Danger is approaching. Danger is approaching. And I'm so very grateful. I just like to pause real quick and say, thank you, Mother, Father, Most High, creators of all that is, for my mighty shield of protection and for that miraculous beauty of failed aneurysm magic from my adversary. Aho. Amen. Wada. So we could have some, you got a trump card here. So you got a trump card here. Now the trump card, according to this lingo that I've been hearing, is the boy sacrifice. It could be that there's a boy sacrifice that's about ready to reach out first. It could be that there's a female that needs to reach out first to the trump card. It could be that there's a female that's going to initiate a conversation regarding some kind of reserved power. Some kind of hidden stuff. We got a promotion on channel. Your channel is being promoted, but then we've got digital detox. So it's like the natural telepathy, organic telepathy is being promoted while the AI system is coming undone. So this is an unexpected event for the fakers, the frauds, the mimickers who were gambling with your life and your energy, your mind. They missed the deadline for a sacrifice or whatever that they needed to get this sudden wealth, and everything is going in the shredder now. They're being undone, they're being recycled. And you are getting a new unexpected surprise, a whole bunch of money perhaps. And you are rejecting any contracts that are coming your way right now. Or other people are getting rejected contracts because they cannot reverse what they have done in time with the families and the gifts that they were given. They can't undo it. It's irreversible. They've done it for centuries. Their mind and their soul and their heart's desire has been verified and re-verified and re-verified over and over again. And it's bad news for the digital whisper, those who are trying to destroy your reputation and be you, commit fraud against you. They're being warned. The consumer, those who have been making money off of what? Faking a side profile of you. What? They got you on the black market, some prostitute or whatever. They're being warned that, look, you were able to bend without breaking, to yield to the attack and then to bounce back. And you are still harmony and peace and joy. We got celebration here. You're not broken. You're not full of malice. You don't want to do vengeance. But these ones are being condemned, these false flames, for trapping you. For trapping you. For manipulating you. For driving your life down a path that you would not otherwise have gone, and then abandoning you, throwing your love in the trash, while pulling off of your womb and your Star Nation family's wealth, while hiding you and making sure nobody saw you or came forward to partner with you. Doubts are weighing heavy. The leap forward seems too far. This person is crushed by the burdens of reality, seeking solace in the thought of vanishing. This infidelity, pizza, this guy is a pedophile. Whoever this is, they're a pedophile. So you're getting a new beginning because this third party situation, you're getting a new beginning because this kind of crap interfered with your destiny. You had to push that love all the way up that mountain throughout all of this adversity, and you have this beautiful high honor. Teddy Bear Boy wanted to be seen as a wealthy man by forcing you to do all the work, felt very powerful, but now they're overloaded by your twin flame, your guardian. Kicking the crap out of these people who tried to martyr you and then take your place and steal all the wealth and just go be a Jezebel in your beloved Star Nation Soul Tribe's hometown or whatever. Bunch of jackwagons. That wasn't very nice. Well, I don't know. Hi, Kimberly. Well, Suki, I suppose it would be whatever you think it is, and then you would have to respond however you believe you need to do that. Oh, pull some of these. Pull some of these. Thank you, Mary. All right, so you getting some abundance here. Ace of Pentacles, you kept your mind clear. You kept your house clean. You don't have any attachments. You don't have any negative thoughts. You could be doing some regular fasting or parasitical cleanse. You keep your mind clear. You might have reprogrammed your thought patterning. You know, when you recognize that maybe you had some negative thought patterning, you might have restructured the highways of the mind. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a really good source to go to if you want to start investigating that. That's what I was watching when I learned. So your commitment to praying, your commitment to family, you've got this GPS. It's your pathway. And then we've got these people who are there chasing material gain out of a territory, a sacred space full of committed families who are committed to their pathway of fortifying their connection with Creator. This is your pathway. You're devoted to your family, to your marriage, to union. This is your pathway. Your pathway is committed to God, to the Mother, to Source, Creator. You've got this commitment. This is your life. You're very conscientious. Your mind, your thoughts, you are, you know, what? Typically happy. You do things that hold value in life, that increase the value of your soul and your circumstance. And then you're dealing with this nasty jack out there freaking trying to cast illusions with their stupid magic over your life. It's like, really, dude? Really? Battle. This, you're very prayerful. You're on the path of committed family. You keep your mind and your heart and your life clear. You work toward things that have value. And you've got this Casanova schwankster out there wanting to fight you for what it is that you are and what it is that you can produce with your own source-connected stuff. What is this dude, man? Your strength and your courage has caused this person a failure. They're disappointed and drinking to cope because you're a giant. They're small compared to you. And you're in your masculine energy. You're in your masculine energy. You're talented. You've got natural talent. They're drinking to cope. They're like, oh no, the earth signs freaking social mask has slipped off. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They're challenged because you're just too strong. Casanova has been exercising the wrong freaking muscle. He has overlooked the heart. Ew. So it looks like they were bringing negative influences to those people who have gifts through astral projecting and perhaps telepathic driven sort of pathway interfering so that they could feed on them. So it's kind of like they were offering some kind of an opportunity just so that they could feed on people. You have this natural talent, waterbender, with the clearing, the alchemizing of the waters of your temple, your body. These ones are being warned. This social mask is off of this earth sign. They're receiving a warning. They're drinking to cope. You're too strong. They have failed. You're getting a new beginning here, and you're turning your back on this conflict. You're doing your research, and you're not dealing with those people who mirror others, who pretend that they are somebody else, who are of negative influence, who have been casting illusions and confusing people. You're not, it's no longer a mystery what has been going on here, and you're turning your back on it. You know exactly what's been going on. It's like there's preparations being made when these crows drop that clam shell onto the road there so that the car can run over it and then smash it open. They can get the meat out of it better. God stated that these people who had been fighting with you and feeding on you and draining you of everything that you have been attempting to produce in a good way here, they are being prepared to be the new fodder. They've been feeding on you, taking everything from you, hurting you, and now they are the ones that will be experiencing that. God said that every nasty thing that they've done to you shall be done to them. This magician was trying to screw around or using prophecy to try to mess up your life. They knew that you were coming in to be married to this powerful entity, God, goddess, whatever. There, it's set out there that you're a demi-goddess, divine feminine. They're saying you're a demi-goddess. So, but they lied. This person in the shadows lied, perhaps, about you and said what? That they were with you, that they got married with you, but there was no sexual encounter. You don't sleep with people. You never invite people into your bed. I mean, you could be celibate for a long freaking time. A long time. You focused on the long-term goals. You gave up freaking alcohol. You focused on sobriety and discipline. Yeah. These people have been casting illusions within the territory. They lied about everything. It wasn't you in that bedroom. They had you trapped behind this stupid mirror. And they were taking your place in this stupid territory. Well, it's not a stupid territory. This is your Star Nation Soul Tribe's freaking territory. And you had this little nasty twit out there wearing your damn face, coming up there, spending all your tribe's money and your ascension initiation benefits. This person was there pretending that they were you, this powerful, worthy, ascended master. They trapped you in a mirror and then left you there to torment you. And now that's what's going to happen to them. They're going to have to go deal with it. The viciousness. And now they're worried. You know, they're out there. I can hear them. Satan's prostituting everybody. Well, damn it. You know, I mean, why did they decide that that would be the perfect person to go obey or whatever? Willingly. You know, they can't do anything to you anymore. They were coming after your Nine of Cups. They gave you a nightmare, but you self-cared through it. You're letting these people go. They're running away because they were exploiting you. You got away from them. They have to give up. Everything they're doing to you is rolling right off. They can't affect you anymore with this stupid illusion magic. They've been trying to cast the illusion in the territory that it's you. They want to replace you with a strict Catholic woman. They need somebody that's under this, or that will force this rigid tyranny onto the people regarding their relationship with the Creator, so that they can gain access to those gatekeepers positions and that initiation, ascension, authority, reward, status increase. Three of Cups celebration. You did things perfectly. You didn't take any shortcuts. You managed yourself well. You maintained your peace. You don't have any feelings regarding no strings attached. You just don't want to have anything to do with those people who didn't see any value in you. It's just not important. They made an unfair assessment. They were focused on your shortcomings. They didn't see your potential, and now they don't need to take part in it. They didn't want strings with you, and now they're very, very unhappy to know that that's exactly what they're going to get. See, they wanted no strings with you, but they wanted you in the hole with them up top, spending your money, taking pleasure in the reward of your status and your authority. But you didn't go down. You didn't stay down. And now they're starting to malfunction because they can't attach to your energy. They can't be seen as you. They can't frame you as any of this floozy shit. They're not able to dominate you. Their dominator skills are malfunctioning. They miss you. Why do they miss you? Because you're the power source. They don't have any money, power, energy. And they can't work for it. They don't have a job. There's nothing, they don't know how to produce it. So we got the Six of Cups here. Nostalgia over this kin driving you into karmic cycles of confused sexuality. This could be lifetime after lifetime. They've been effing around with your sexuality. These kin, why would they be involved in your damn sex life anyway? They wanted to make sure that you would never get out, that you would never be what God wanted you to be. They bound this woman's crown. They didn't want anybody to freaking hear the mother. They didn't want you out. Those kin that were driving you into this confused sexuality, they're uninvited guests of this other territory, and they didn't want you to leave because you're a power source. You've got a serious spiritual bank account. They're not able to dominate you. You're taking your seeds or what you have planted, and you're going in a new direction. These people aren't exiting. They're not going anywhere. They were kept forcing you through another stagnancy cycle, a repetitive cycle of confused sexuality. And they kept putting things in the water and in the foods to mess with the, like estrogen and atrazine, to mess with the sexuality of the masculine. And I really think that maybe they might have been turning the females to be more masculine also. I don't know. If this atrazine is a gender changing chemical, it's in the water supply. So it could be that they were trying to make men more feminine and females more masculine. And, we got men out there complaining that women are too masculine. Well, after being alone for centuries, it's a given that you would be more masculine if you had to, change your oil, fix your flat, repair the leaky pipes or whatever. Fix the leak in the roof, whatever. You had to get in your masculine energy and do that. But they've been slandering you for that while they've been purposely leaving you alone. You're taking your seeds, your ideas, your energy, and you're going in a new direction with it. There's no exit for this uninvited guest. They cannot come out of this territory and then enter into yours. They're kicked out of the territory of total love and support, and they're not having, because what? They're not optimistic. They're losing sleep. They're worried. They don't have any intuition. They don't have any clairs or intuitive connections. These karmic ties, that's all karmic ties. They don't have source connection. They're addicts. They drink a lot. They do drugs. They're obsessed. They got toxic attachments. They could have like some devil attachments or whatever that are currently tormenting them. They've been spreading rumors about you. And they've been spying on you astrally, remote viewing you and stuff. They've been siphoning energy off of twin flames, off the suns and the stars, and they've been exchanging it for some kind of petty gain, some monetary gain. They've been trading your life and your life force and everything that you can give to life, and they've been trading it in for dollars, man, so that they can go get drunk at the freaking bar. So you're not doing any mischief, and therefore you're not getting released. You're not being released. They are. They're addicted to tormenting you. They've been making petty gains off of the energy of twin flames. They've been spying on them, and you're not getting released because you didn't do any mischief. You're taking your seeds and your effort and all of the energy and everything, and you're leaving. You're going in a new direction. You are renewed and recovered here. These people were not able to martyr you. They're running away from your guardian. The lights are going out on these addicts, on these lushes, on these drunks. They are bedroom trash. It says worthless mouse. So they're like nibbling on all your goodies everywhere. They're just in there shitting all over everything. So this could be the rose. You're delivering the fatal blow. I don't know. The bride? What's going on here? You're delivering. So you're protecting some. You got those roses. They're hitting their mark. But it's a fatal blow. It's almost like those roses are bombs. It's like they protect some people, but they destroy other people. It's like the purity of this bride is like dropping bombs on people. It's like these bad people that have been getting away with brutalizing her energy and torturing other people with her energy. It's like this purity of this energy. Now, whenever she throws one of those freaking bouquets, it's dropping like a bomb on those people that tortured others with this energy. So now this energy is torturing them. And she's not even trying. It just is what it is. Isn't that something? They once siphoned her energy and dropped it like bombs on other people. And now that she's free and emancipated, it's like God is directing her to drop bombs on those who, I don't know, this is wild. I mean, she's being led by God. It's not like she's operating, out of her own accord. I mean, she's probably only alive and survived this battle because of her commitment to this pathway. She loves the Most High. She loves her Star Nation family. She prays to them all the time. That's why she's alive, because it's very clear that they were lying. It was an illusion. It was some actress in a mirror communicating. We got communicating and protection. You could be protected from anybody trying to tap into your mental body, to mess with your field of consciousness, to use your brain as a bridge or a connector into the Star Nation soul tribe that you hail from. You're protected. Your future is protected. Anything that you create is protected. Anything that you birth is protected. Your communication is protected. So your mind is protected. They can't tap into your consciousness anymore. which means they don't have access to your Star Nation soul tribe anymore. They're no longer going to get a soul contract or a marriage contract in that space anymore. These are low vibrational devils. And so what they do, they transfer soul value, but it has to be a zodiac match. So apparently this magician was a Gemini, and they transferred soul value of a Leo, and then cast a stupid mirror magic and separated her and the twin flame between some kind of mirror, some dimensional weird curse thing that kept them separated. And yet, I don't know. Anyway, this dude screwed up because she was not a zodiac match. So he's in there playing around with these women, like dressing up these women in the energy of the match of this faithful person. But apparently it's not zodiac match. They can't take the energy. It's like it doesn't match. So it's very obvious that this person has been screwing off a whole big long time, distracting people. You survived. The anomaly survived. It could be distracting people. You have grown, and you've got a lot of abundance. You have grown a super amount of abundance while you were alone. And you're bringing it to this sacred space. And those people that had been doing trickery are getting displaced. They got to leave this sacred space. They're not going to take part in the abundance and the dharma that the roses and the trump cards have earned by going through cycle after cycle after cycle of suffering. These people can't come in and harvest the reward. And it's going to look real bad because, they're complaining of tyranny. The mother won't let them in. God won't let them in. And it's like, I'm sorry, you can't come in here and feed on the soul of our community. You can't come in here and then sacrifice them on your first year anniversary to the devil and then bring up a freaking devil copycat into our territory. Absolutely not. We're not going to play these games anymore, man. And they're in grief about it. These people who were doing trickery are in grief because they're getting displaced by the mother nature. And they are resisting because they're afraid. They're afraid of the golden nuggets insight. Balanced. Calm. Clear-minded. And if you look at it, it's like that golden nugget is huge. You got a lot of information there regarding this upheaval that they have been giving into the world. And, so those who are playing around with you, pretending to be you, they're in anticipation of something. They're in anticipation of you committed to freedom. Commitment to freedom. So they wanted to play around to pretend to be you. They were committed to an empty nest, mimicking to be you. They were sacrificing the children. Like this person could have gone up into the upper dimensional spaces, into your soul tribe home family, had a child, and then effed over that child, sacrificed the child, did something with the child, trying to get free. These ghosts, they were transferring the children of these upper dimensional spaces for a ghost child. They were sacrificed in the upper spaces. So they would come in as you, and then they would marry your twin flame or whatever, and then they would have a child, and then they would F that child over, and then what? Sacrifice it, and then replace it with an actual devil child. They were putting them into the shadows while bringing up one from the shadows. It was a routine. It was a routine. And now they're at risk because they're being watched. They have been exposed. They have been exposed from a distance. And you've risen above. You've got gifts, and you've risen above this night and this negative influence, and you've been able to expose them. And now that whole community is receiving wrath because what they did to heart bonds with their upside down perspective in the past, feeding on them, feeding on the innocent purity, scavenging, a whole team of scavengers. Into astral projecting into your house and feeding on your love. Claiming to be that while not leaving any at all for you. Well, oops, that's enough of that. I think that's enough of that. Hey, y'all. Who haven't looked at the chat for a while. I hope that you're all being nice to each other over there. Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope that this reading has brought you clarity to something that perhaps you already had intuitive knowing of. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you, Faith. All right, everybody, take care. And I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Orange Buzz Mama. Hello. What? Who's a witch? Oh, she's a damn witch. Isn't that funny? You know what the... Is she calling me a witch? Lily, are you calling me a witch? See y'all later. Bye.